Do you have everything set? Good. The sun should still be up by the time you reach the forest. Good luck. You'll need it. Hmm? Oh no, I'm not upset. I think it was for the best that they left. Anyway, it was getting a bit too crowded for my taste. Well, they didn't seem to mind either, so I suppose it works out for us both. I'm glad you chose to stay, though. It truly means a lot to me. A promise is a promise, after all, and luckily someone new didn't get in the way of our friendship. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not particularly upset about them leaving. Had they convinced you to join them, that's 2 guests I would have lost in one day, including the most important one. I'm sure they didn't want to go out into the forest without someone to back them up, and it's clear that they didn't want my help as it is. Though, it's highly likely that you both would have met a terrible end. There's no point in allowing them to drag you out there. I doubt they'll make it through to the end of the day, but if that's what they prefer, then so be it. They may not have appreciated my hospitality, but I don't appreciate someone who tries to break friends apart. It's just the audacity to assume you choose to go with them when you only just met. Well, 4 days is more than one. I wouldn't count the first day since they were out cold for most of it. So the fact that they wasted no time trying to lure you out of the castle makes me even more upset. Honestly, if it weren't for the barrier's properties, I'd have assumed they were a monster trying to lure prey out of the safety of my home. Though, I think monsters take many forms, not just beasts who hunt for blood. This one seems to have been after Heart specifically. I'm abundantly aware that they know how close we are. I'm sure that's why they always wanted to speak to you in private. I'm no fool, though. We both know what I'm capable of. If I had even a drop of malice over whatever they had to say, that would have been more than enough to convince me to silence them with my blade. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. I'm simply speculating what I think was going through their head at the time. And I imagine that they must have said plenty of awful and speculative things about me. They were giving me very awful looks whenever I spoke with them. With how urgent they were to leave and drag you out of here, I must have at least been part of the topic of conversation. That's what I thought. I hope that whatever they said to you doesn't change your opinion of me. Though, I'm sure it didn't since you're still here. You are a very wonderful friend. I know it's difficult to trust someone so soon, but I appreciate that you've put your faith in me. I'll keep saying it, because no one has ever gotten very far in a relationship with me. I'm sorry if that sounds strange. I just can't help but admire you and how kind you are to keep your promises. Many people say they'll stay, but they never follow through. I think the most they tend to last is 3 days or so. Then they choose to brave the forest again. Seems so ridiculous, doesn't it? Who would choose certain death over a nice, comfortable castle with plenty of food and drink to last for years? What? Surely the choice would be to stay as long as possible, right? Don't tell me you'd consider leaving early. I mean, whatever it is past the forest couldn't possibly be worth dying for, could it? I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't assume anything. But we both know what to expect out there. And if death is just about inevitable, then you probably never will reach your goal, no matter how important it is to you. I'm just being realistic. If that young person isn't able to make it through, then imagine what your chances are. See for yourself. I doubt they'd gotten that far. The moment they step through the barrier, they're the only one who can defend themselves. I don't plan to waste my time on someone who couldn't mind their own business. Alright. Looks like it's all on them now. Let's see how well they can handle everything alone. No surprise at all. I warned you both, and they still decided it was worth the risk. If that's the sort of death they prefer, then so be it. They didn't want me to interfere, so I won't. It's a sad way to go, but that's reality. And that could have been yours if you had decided to join them. So I'm glad you made the right choice. That doesn't have to be your fate at the end of the week. I won't throw you out to fend for yourself. No good friend would ever do that to someone they care about. I'd certainly like to think I'm a better friend than that poor traveler who walked straight to their death. I'd have felt more for you than I would have for them. And if you'd allowed me, I would have at least attempted to dispatch several of the monsters in your way. To give you another chance, and maybe convince you that you're safest with me. If you do change your mind, my castle is yours to call home. It was always meant for more than one person, and there's no one else I'd rather share it with. Would you believe me if I said my desire for companionship is even stronger than their need to continue with their own journey, even if it was at the cost of their life? I would die 1,000 times to escape the cycle I'm in. I've lived through it more times than you know. Would you willingly die to get where you want to be? It's a scary thought to die, isn't it? Especially one when you just saw could be your fate. Well, you have an alternative right here waiting for you, and it will never go away.